Hey everyone, Julia from Sunday Sounds here. Let's take a look at our patch designed in the style of Run to the Father as originally performed by Cody Carnes. We play this song in its original key of C and at its original tempo of 68.5 BPM. This patch has piano across the entire keyboard with strings, pads, and sub-bass in the lowest octave. Your left hand will play octaves for most of the song. We use the mod wheel to brighten up the pads, build intensity, and bring in those additional sounds. For the intro, you'll have your mod wheel at 0. You'll be playing partial chords in the right hand and octaves in the left. Several of the chords have suspensions, so I like to keep my right hand on the 5th and 1st notes of your scale, adding some additional notes throughout the intro. Because the notes between the hands are so close, I like to drop the top octave in the left hand when playing the 6th chord and play the 5th of that chord above it, which is the 3rd of your scale. Here is how I like to play the intro. This progression comes back as an outro at the end of the song, with some additional chords on syncopated beats. Your mod wheel will be all the way down at 0. Here's what the outro sounds like. For verse 1, or as some would call it, verses 1 and 2, the mod wheel will be at 0, and I like to use the same inversions I used in the intro. You continue playing partial chords in the right hand along with the chord changes and octaves in the left. I also do the same thing with the 6th chord as I do in the intro. There's also a small right hand riff in the middle of the verse, so make sure to pay attention to that in the demo. For verses 3 and 4, you'll play the same parts, but you'll have the mod wheel at 25%. This will bring in a sub bass and open up the pads a little bit. For chorus 1, you'll keep your mod wheel at 0. You can play whatever inversions of the chords that you like, but I typically play the same inversions as the intro for the first down chorus. To keep it simple, I don't play any of the right hand extra notes like I do in the intro. I just suspend the 5th and 1st notes of the key above the left hand octaves like this. Each chorus has a small refrain right after it. During these, I play the chords the same way as in the down chorus, but I double the vocal melody up high in the right hand. This is what that sounds like. For the bigger choruses, the mod wheel is at 50. And I like to add a few notes above what we were playing earlier. I'll play the progression to show you what that sounds like. For the biggest chorus, you'll want to have the mod wheel all the way up at 100. And I bring the right hand up even higher to match the inversions that we play in the bridge. This is what that section will sound like. The chorus repeats one last time at the end. During this chorus, I like to match the lead line in the guitar with octaves in the right hand. I'll play this part slowly. And here's hands together. There are 2 short refrains after the last chorus. I like to add a few notes to this lead line for this section. Here's what it sounds like. As you're finishing up playing these refrains, you'll want to bring the mod wheel back down to 0 for the outro. For bridge 1, you will drop your left hand out entirely. Your mod wheel should be at 100 for both bridges, but it is important to note that you should only move the mod wheel to 100 once you drop out your left hand. This way, you won't hear the pads and strings in the low octave increase in intensity and volume before you drop out. Be sure to check out the demo to see how I move the mod wheel to transition between these sections. The right hand will be playing chords in this range on 8th notes. This is what it sounds like. It is important to make sure that you are playing in this range because there is a pad that is triggered in this area during this part. For bridge 2, you will bring the left hand back in to play octaves. This is what bridge 2 sounds like with hands together. So just to recap the different mod wheel positions, keep in mind that these notes are suggestions, so you're free to use the mod wheel to add intensity as desired. At 0, you're going to have your intro, your down verses, verses 1 and 2, your down chorus, and your outro. You're going to move your mod wheel to about 25% for your medium verses or verses 3 and 4. And then at 50%, you're going to have your chorus and your refrain and then you'll move to 100 for your bridge, your final chorus, and your big refrain at the very end. Now, before I let you go, I wanted to let you know that there is a Facebook group called Sunday Sound Insiders, where you can find sneak peeks, giveaways, behind-the-scenes videos, last-minute troubleshooting help, exclusive tutorials, and more. It would be awesome to see you in there. Until then, I'm Julia with Sunday Sounds. See you next time.